Hello, this is Abe Cofnas. I'm Senior Fundamental Strategist. I've been trading for about 20 years, 1990 in fact, and it always is interesting. My focus is on why prices are moving. What are the fundamental and psychological forces that are impacting the markets? Now that I have a law, I call it the first law of fundamentals, which is a price stays in a pattern until news moves it out of its pattern. So technical traders, once you understand why prices are moving, you can anticipate and match the right strategy for the price pattern. Some strategies are real good extension strategies. You have long-term targets, but there are hurdles along the way to get there. So it's good to know why our prices are moving. Let's take an example on the British pound. Now, the British pound, since the Brexit event, has had an enormous tour of different patterns. It had a huge fall, went into a long sideways consolidation, and news moved it out of those patterns. Central bank does something, moves it out of its patterns. Export-import data moves it out of its patterns. Now, right now, in the next 2 weeks, we got another event. We have the June 8th elections between the Tories and Labour. Theresa May initially announced a snap election. What happened? The pound went up, rallied, because they had expected a huge victory, which will give her a bigger mandate for negotiating Brexit. That victory expectation is dissipating. Labour now leads about 6 points. The market's getting nervous. Now, how does that manifest itself? British pound sells off. It's getting weaker as the elections are approaching and markets do not understand or don't understand what will happen. There's anxiety and uncertainty. Uncertainty is bearish. So what we have here in the British pound is a real big drop in the past week. Why did it drop? It went from about 1.29 and really hovering around the 130 area down to 128, 1.28. A bit of a new rally coming back up. But as long as there's uncertainty, we can't expect a direction to be clear. So what does this mean? Should we be bearish or bullish on the British pound leading to June 8th? Well, I think from a trader's point of view, it's a great scalping environment. It will zig and zag right to the election. From a longer-term position play, it's going to be a lot more difficult to trade. So once you know why the prices are moving, you adjust the strategy for how to trade it. So from the point of view of the British pound, this is a perfect example that prices reflect psychology first, maybe not economic reality. The real expectation that Theresa May election would in fact improve Brexit negotiations is a bit of a stretch. Brexit is going to be tough to do, no matter who is going to be elected. Now, there's going to be a new theories and chatter about would Labour be good for the British pound? It would only be good if it's a soft Brexit, which means they'll make deals easier with the European Union. So we've got a very interesting uncertainty period in the next 2 weeks. That will not stop bearish influences. The British pound has a lot of bearish influences. Why? Because the economy in the United Kingdom is being forecast to contract. The price they paid for a weak pound was a double-edged price. It increased imports, increased exports, brought in import inflation. Central bank is going to have an issue. How do they contain inflation, which is now in between 2 and 3%? That's scary for a central bank. On the other hand, when Brexit uncertainty is occurring, what will the central bank do? Will they dare taper and tighten? I doubt that. So the British pound is going to be an incredibly good currency to trade from a volatility point of view and from a shorter term, a range-based behavior. That's the fundamentals telling you that. A good technical setup will tell you which way to align with the fundamentals. So I don't think the British pound can be strong for too long. So look for rally failures, and then in my view, from a fundamental perspective, look to sell British pound at the right entry. Good luck.